So here's how my project is going on so far. Okay, so I have here my spectrum analyzer thingy, and I also have my function generator. This is outputting approximately 17 hertz sawtooth waveform. The sawtooth waveform does not have a very quick fall time though, so I'll explain an issue with that later. But this feeds the sawtooth waveform here through this cable and into this IC, which is a 4046 VCO, and this outputs a square wave, a frequency varying square wave through this capacitor and this 200 ohm resistor into this mixer. This mixer is a 500 kilohertz to 500 megahertz mixer. It is the double balanced ring mixer type. And here I have my RF source, 6.6 megahertz, going into one side of this mixer. And then the IF frequency comes out into this crystal filter, which is 11 megahertz. And I have some resistors and two crystals. And this crystal filter outputs into this probe, which goes to the oscilloscope that's in this XY. So that's pretty much all there is. I can show you it working here. So let me turn off the readout. So I have this large peak, which is the correct peak, and this much larger and dimmer peak, that is the incorrect one. This is incorrect because, like I said, this thing does not have a very fast fall time. So what happens is that it slowly comes up here and it quickly goes back, but doesn't go quick enough that this is invisible. You can still see it, so it still draws it in reverse. And that's why it's dimmer and a little bit fatter, because it's stretching it out more. So if you just ignore that, this is what it looks like with that 6.6 megahertz input. And you can see that it actually works, because if I vary the frequency, you'll see this move across here. You can see I'm varying the frequency up there. It moves across the screen horizontally. And if I go lower, it starts to distort down there. I'm pretty sure that that's just a limitation of this mixer I'm using, because it's rated for a maximum of 500 megahertz, and I'm going down to pretty much near its lower operating range, and that's why I'm getting some distortion, but that's just a guess I'm doing. You also might notice that this is quite flickery, and look, even if I lower the frequency, the peaks get larger, and it actually works better at a low frequency, but it gets hard to see what's happening if at this lower frequency. If I move this back up here, I can probably fix that by just using flashlight on. By using this 7613 I just happen to have in my closet. I can make up, instead of using this 5110 like I was going to before, I'm probably just going to use this one, because this is a variable persistence oscilloscope, and I can just create a plugin for that anyways, instead of creating a plugin for this. Creating a plugin for this 7000 series is going to be much more difficult though, because the rear interface is much more complicated, while this is just it's pretty much like a card slot. While this one also is a card slot, it has another plastic mechanism that makes it easier and aligns it better, and that's going to be harder to 3D print or fabricate. I also happen to have some other stuff here in a 7904. Turn off the flashlight. And here. Let me see if I can raise the frequency. Yeah, if you raise the frequency to say 254 or 250 hertz, it does not work well at all. If you raise it even higher, it doesn't work. So you have to keep the... Actually, wow, it actually works. Oh wait, that's the same frequency. Yeah, I feel like around 17 hertz of sweep speed is the most ideal with my current setup. This isn't really a spectrum analyzer at all, actually, because it's just a tuner, a really crappy tuner with no detector. It doesn't even have a logarithmic amplifier. It doesn't even have any kind of amplifier except for the ones that are built into the IC itself. Yeah, it's just a really crappy radio like that one over there, without any kind of detector or video filtering. But it works. I have like until December to work on this, so it's not that big of a problem. I'm just showing my progress. Okay, bye bye.